BUTV University Television. 360 coverage.
Hello, our viewers of the BUTV Television, the 360 coverage. I welcome you to another episode of the Hard Talk Show, and today I host for you one of the aspirants of the Guild presidential seat, which is the highest office in the university. He will be telling us what he will do for us, how he will solve all our problems we have, and many, many other things. Allow me welcome him. He will introduce himself. My name is H.E Samson, a student of the Faculty of Science and Education, offering a bachelor's in literature and English. Mr. President, you are welcome.
Thank you very much.
Allow me call you president because you have very many supporters out there who will find it very good if I call you president. I welcome you once again.
Thank you very much, Mr. Samson. And I want to thank the management of BUTV for inviting me for this important session. I'm called Owera Emmanuel. Using the slogan, the solution government, I'm a contestant for Guild presidential race of BUTV University. I'm from Namasangari campus. Since BUTV is a multi-campus university, we are always having contenders that probably can come from different parts of BUTV and different campuses. Yes. Thank you very
much. Most people fear the Guild presidential seat and race. One of the reasons being it is very expensive, it is tiresome, it wastes a lot of time. Why on the world did you decide to run for that seat instead of other smaller positions?
Yes, basically, it is not supposed to be about its expense that should determine why you should really run for the race. But when you're passionate about the students and the challenges students are going through, definitely those should be the blueprints of making someone have the passion to really contest for this seat.
Yes. In addition to that, you talked about the students. Should we say you will be rallying completely with the students' ideas? Because there are very many challenges personally to you as an individual with that presidential seat. If by God's grace you are given the opportunity to run for the race, you'll have your individual challenges and students' challenges, but I had you front the students. Should we say you will be fronting the students' agenda?
Extremely, yes. I'll be fronting the students' agenda. You know, there is a proverb, Mr. Samson, in Africa that they use that says, a leader must have his ears resonating with the voice of the people. And that is the basis at which I'm going to operate the government of the solutions. Thank you.
The student fraternity of BUTV University at large, in different campuses, have very many challenges. And by the virtue that we have 6 campuses, of which each campus has its own course, and you're also originating from one of the campuses, but you're offering one course, how will you know the problems of the people of Nagongera who are from the fraternity of education, the people from Arapai of agriculture, the people from Umbali of the doctors and nurses? How will you be knowing all the problems? Or if you know some of them, how will you be doing it?
I think basically the office of the Guild presidency in this multi-campus setting is diplomatic in nature, whereby the campus that you represent is all campuses. And basically, before someone really thinks of coming for the office of the Guild presidency, you should have done a problem analysis that the students are facing. And then you rank them. Either Surupeawa is ranking, then you come up with the best solutions to address those challenges. So you come up with a seat, since it's a seat that handles and requires you to represent all the faculties within BUTV University. That means you should do all the analysis of challenges happening in each faculty. Then you come with an agenda that is going to tackle the entire challenges across board. Yes.
I heard you talking about making a problem search. By the virtue that you're talking that means you've made the problem search. may you please help and brief the students about the problems you found out that they are facing and how you will solve them?
One of the most key, there are actually many challenges that we, the students of BUTV, are facing. But there are a few key outputs that we would want to solve as the Students' Guild of the next 14 years government. If you looked at my manifesto, the first agenda is to introduce what we call the Student Trust Fund. We realize that in BUTV University, there are certain times when students have challenges in paying tuition. At the minute when they need to really sit for their exams, they end up signing for a dead year. Yes. So we want to come up with a student trust fund that we can introduce in the Students' Guild budget, such that for a student that is really disgruntled as far as tuition is concerned, can run to the Students' Trust Fund, get the money, and then later on when the student is getting back to campus can come and repay back, so that the fund revolves in nature and we manage to all graduate as a team that joined BUTV, as well as having saved the dream of a student that should have signed the dead year. Yes, that is one of the key things that we want to introduce as the solution government. The other thing is also the aspect of academics. We have a staffing level that is very low, and we need a representation that is supposed to go and lobby for the students. Now, how do we lobby for staffing? There is what we call the government wage bill, where we are supposed to sit in the university council and agitate for government to increase that, because the constitution of the student guild gives the guild president the powers to lobby in conjunction with the administration of the university for anything that they feel fit. And when we lobby for the increase of the wage bill of the university, we, the students, how do we then tap into this opportunity? We need to look into the policies. One of them is the retention, where if you're a first-class student, you retain. Now, if we increase the wage bill, then as a guild president, we need to review policies of retention, such that if we have a wage bill that can pay students that will be retained as lecturers, then it would have been better. So that is one of the key challenges the ways we are going to handle the issue of the staffing within what? BUTV University, in a way that benefits we, the students of BUTV. Because it would not be really good to start advertising and having lecturers from other universities. Yet we have best students within what? Within BUTV University. Yes.
When you're talking about the wage bill and the understaffing of the university, I've remembered about an article that I read last semester about doing a search about the staffing of BUTV University and see if we are really credible for working out there because of the staffing. So what if the government comes up and says, for us who have passed through BUTV, we are not really eligible to work out there? How shall we be really represented?
Of course, one of the ways we improve on the quality assurance is by first of all tackling the key aspects that will really make us not marketable outside. And one of them is the issue of wage bill that will bring the recruitment of lecturers by retaining students of first class. So immediately we tackle that, it would mean we have tackled the issue of staffing, as far as having students benefit what they should have not benefited. So it's like creating jobs for our best performing students. So in that way, we would have really hit the notch of having the university staff effectively. And then we have a better service that would improve quality, of course, at the end of it.
Well, another question I was asked by a student on my way here at this interview was, you have come in a period when over 3 students have lost their parents. And funny enough, none of those have gotten the chance to use the guild bus to transport the mourners to be there when they are sending off their parents. But the university has the buses. How can that really be tackled and students be helped? Because the expenses in this hard economy are really straining them, even when they would have wanted to go and be there in that period with their fellow students. So how will the student body be helped with that? Because I think the guild bus is for us all.
First of all, I really stand in solidarity for this, for our students who really lost their friends. But I think as a university and as a students, we need a representation that is going to be able enough to negotiate this with the administration. I know basically it would have been issues of management that could have been a problem, but then in that aspect, we still need to go and renegotiate, because sincerely, it's really very, very unfair if a student leadership with its assets are not allowed to use them effectively in times of pain as such. I think with such a loss, the university should be able at least to understand the student leadership that is the time we need most the use of this bus. So I think it's all about getting back into the drawing board and renegotiating how best the student guild can use the bus. Yes.
Lastly, but not least, the same student asked me, we have been having very many several candidates coming and telling us the agendas and giving us very good ideas, telling us what they will do and what they will not do. How shall we, as the students' body, really trust you as a person of your word?
I think one of the things that we the students must know is that at times we don't put keen interest in the election of the guild presidency. We come at the time when we may not be able to have really seen into the candidates effectively. But in this race, I believe the manifestos will talk a lot about the candidates. But besides that, there is also one thing that we the students must know, that sometimes even your instinct alone can tell you that this person is the right person for the office of guild presidency. Because there are certain qualities that we may have words to describe, but physically we can't see. Like honesty is one of them. Sincerely, you can't have anything that shows that someone is honest. But then you really have to really look into through your instincts, through the manifestos, and also through how you believe the university should actually be taken to another level. I think that is basically what we need to look into. Yes.
Thank you so much, Mr. Owera Emmanuel. Hoping for the best. To our dear viewers of Sitema University Television, continue subscribing. Tell a friend to tell a friend to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It is very important. And keep on, for more and more is coming from various candidates and various fields in this very country. Thank you so much for listening. My name is Samson Ngenyi, your host of the Hard Talk Show today. Keep on. May God bless you.